Hi, it's me, Jessie from Special Footprints, and I'm actually not going to call this the daily school report today, even though I'm going to include it in my blog post because it was today that got me thinking so hard about how anxieties have a hold on my family. So I just want to talk about that a little bit. Both me and Joe have anxieties, and my daughter Jasmine has anxieties. And today I received a phone call from my 3-year-old son Dylan. He has autism. He goes to a special needs school, and they called me to talk to me about that they think most of Dylan's problems in school come from anxieties, and that I might want to go to a psychiatrist and see about getting him on some meds for that. My anxieties are really bad about giving my children medicine. I mean, I know that I probably will have to do it because Dylan does not adjust well to changes at all. This past week, Dylan was sick, and so he was home from school for about a week. And I knew him going back to school was going to be a mess, and it turned out that he was a mess at school. He was crying for. He's in school. I think it's a total of 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours. But he gets on the bus, and it's an hour ride there, so we'll say 4 hours. He gets on the bus and he goes, and I'm not sure if he cried on the bus, but I'm sure if he was crying the whole first 2 hours of school, he was probably crying on the bus. He just has these tantrums, and you can't control them. You can't soothe them in any way. I mean, you can try, but he won't want you to hold him, and he usually doesn't stop with swinging or giving him a bottle or anything. You just have to kind of like let him be. Like when he's at home, this is what we do when it happens. If Dylan is having his tantrums and we can't do anything for him, we put him in his bedroom, which is his own space, and we don't allow anybody to go in there. We'll turn on PBS Kids and Sid the Science Kid, which he loves, and then we just let him be in his room, and eventually he will calm down. It doesn't take long when he's by himself, but and in his room. Like if we were out in public and Dylan started having one of these fits, he'd just keep going until he got back to his bedroom. And my point is that, like, I know he has a hard time calming himself, and I know that he's going to need medication, but I'm just so anxious about it. I mean, he's 3 years old, and I would have never thought that I would have needed to medicate my 3-year-old, but I mean, it's going to help him for sure. It's just, I have all these anxieties about, like, when you get on these types of medication, they're not good for your liver. And usually, when you start them, you almost always need to be on them for your whole life. Like, Jasmine takes anti-anxiety medicines in the morning, and she takes Abilify too. She takes 3 pills in the morning, and then because she is nocturnal epileptic, she has to take 2 pills at nighttime. I worry about what the medication's doing to their organs. I mean, you can't just take a medicine all the time and it be okay. Like, your body be okay with it. I don't know. I'm really anxious about it. And I mean, I'm going to end up taking Dylan to the same doctor that I take Jasmine to, and he is all about giving the least amount that they would need. And like checking in all the time to make sure if they still need it or not. I'm just a wreck about it, really. I mean, I knew in yesterday's daily school report, I was saying how anxious I was to send him to school. And then when he's at school, he had this fit, and they were trying to call me, and they kept trying to call me, and they kept trying to call me. And I have a cordless phone, which is going to crap, actually. When I pick up to call out, the battery dies super fast, and I think the battery was dead when they were trying to call me, so they ended up calling my husband at work. And then my husband come home and was like, why weren't you picking up the phone? They were trying to call you all day. And so then I had this rush of panic, like, oh my God, did I need to go pick Dylan up? And he's just been sitting at school all day, like sick or something. So I called, and I had talked to the school counselor about that. She thought that Dylan was having like anxiety, panic attacks, basically. Like, he just melts down. She said some things that they tried to do at school to calm him was they put him in a swing, which Dylan likes the swing. He does like the swing, but it's not really, when he's in full meltdown, it doesn't really help that much at all to put him in a swing. And they tried putting Sid the Science Kid on because it's his favorite show, but his teacher said that he calmed down maybe 20 minutes, and then that was it. So he had a really bad day today, and it's kind of just always like that. When Dylan has change, he just is so anxious and so nervous that he ends up going into these meltdowns. And she asked me, does it happen at home? It does happen at home, and it happens a lot at home. Like, for instance, when Dylan was about, I would say about 8 months, we were trying to move him out of our bedroom into his own room. And for some reason, Dylan wouldn't sleep in his own bedroom. And so Dylan ended up sleeping in a playpen in front of the TV in the living room. But besides that, like months later, when I was like, okay, you cannot be sleeping in the living room, like, we need to get you in your own bedroom. The ABA therapist had me inch Dylan away from the TV to try to gradually move his bed towards the room that he was supposed to be in, but it didn't work. I just had to kind of like force him into the bedroom and then deal with a month of meltdowns before he finally adjusted. And I mean, I can't say that's all autism, but that is autism. They don't adjust well into big changes like that. We changed his bedroom again because he needed a bigger room. He was kind of in, I think it was like 10 by 10 room, and he has a bunch of like OT equipment that needs to be in his room like full time, and there was barely enough space in there for like a couch and his TV and a dresser. So we moved him into like I think it's about 15 by 15 or maybe bigger than that room. And he adjusted quicker to that move, but I didn't gradually do it at all. And that's probably why it seemed quicker. I just kind of was like, okay, today we're moving Dylan's room and that's it. And I know that we're going to go through this big old thing and it's going to take him a while to adjust, but I just did it. Some other things are like, I couldn't leave Dylan with anyone. When I started leaving him, my mom is my respite worker, and when I started leaving him with my mom while I would go like grocery shopping or something, and he would just throw fits and throw fits and throw fits. Well, now he's okay with being with other people. It took him a while to adjust, and I guess they're thinking that because it takes him so long to adjust, anxiety medicines will help the adjustment so that he's not so panicked during it. But it's still, it worries me to put a 3-year-old on medication. I am still going to take him to see the doctor though and see what he thinks, because I mean, when things like this happen with Dylan, it can be traumatic for him. Like he we got a step 2 kangaroo climber for Dylan when he first started like walking and climbing and stuff. We let him play on it, and he seemed like he had really good balance, but then Dylan fell off of it, and for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, Dylan wouldn't even go close to it because his anxieties were so bad because of that one time that he fell. And I think that's just Dylan. He's an anxious person, and it's got to be in our genes because we're all like that. Me, for instance, my anxieties are so bad that I know this is going to be really bad, but it's honestly true. I smoke cigarettes, and I cannot go into a store and buy my own cigarettes. Like, go to the cash register and ask for cigarettes and pay the people to get the cigarettes. I can't do it. I feel like my heart's going to explode when I try. Another thing that I just cannot do is pump gas. And I don't like riding in the car by myself. But when I go into a gas station, like pull and park and go to get out of the car to pump gas, I just think it's so dangerous. I think people are doing things that they don't supposed to be doing, like smoking cigarettes and talking on cell phones, and I just think if I pump the gas, I'm gonna explode. And that's what goes through my head. And so my husband does those things for me. He buys my cigarettes and he pumps the gas. If my husband doesn't do it, and it's like I need to go somewhere and like my mom comes to watch the kids for me, she will run to the store with my van to buy cigarettes and to pump gas for me so that I have enough gas to go wherever I need to go. And Jasmine, her anxieties were super bad like that too before she got medicated. I'm not medicated. I do not have health insurance, and so if I did, I would definitely need medication, and I would definitely go get medication, but I don't. And Jasmine is medicated, but before she was medicated, she would be in the car and we'd be in a gas station parking lot. And if I needed to like reverse or go around a bunch of vehicles, Jasmine would just panic. Like if I'm reversing and it's so congested and there's so many cars around us, Jasmine would just think we're going to crash, even if we're going like 1 mile an hour. She would just start screaming, covering her ears, and like telling me to stop the car. She would panic on the road if somebody was passing in the opposite lane and like coming towards us, even if they were really far away from us. She would still panic and tell me that I need to pull over. It was kind of dangerous the way that she was panicking, because when your kid screams and you're driving, you're like distracted, and you like I tend to like turn around and look and be like, oh my, what's wrong, what's going on? And yeah, so we got her medication, and her anxieties have quieted down a bit. They're not all the way gone. That's the thing with medications. They will I don't know how to explain it. They'll dull it, but they're never all the way gone. So I do think it is a good idea that Dylan does get put on medication, because it will help calm him. And I do plan on taking him to the doctor for it, but that doesn't mean that I am not overly anxious about it and super worried about what it's going to do to his insides. And I don't know, I'm a ball of anxiety myself, so we'll just have to see how it goes. Like I said, this is not the daily school report. I'm going to actually put this in addition in the post, as kind of like my rant about our anxieties. I just, yeah, I know that he needs it, and so I'm going to do it. That doesn't mean that I like it. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, see you next time. Bye.